I went through a period right in the middle of my mission, a time of a lot of personal hardship and doubt. I had a lot of desires to be a good missionary and to work hard and to be exactly obedient. But I took that way too far. And so after every lesson, instead of thinking, wow, I just taught a family of 4 about the plan of salvation with a member at my side, I think, why didn't I ask as many inspired questions? I really don't think they got that scripture. They just aren't keeping commitments. And everything was just, we aren't doing this. We're running late. Oh, I wish we were like not in the car, we should be tracting right now, whatever it was. And so everything was, we need to do this, we need to do this, we need to do this, we need to do this. And eventually, after months of all of the perfectionistic thoughts that would not leave my mind alone, it was just a really dark period of sadness and depression. And so my mission president called me in, and he knew that I was just struggling. He could tell from my letters I wasn't the fiery Energizer bunny that I usually was. And he asked me what was going on, and so I explained it to him, and the first thing he said was, well, do you want to go home? I was like, no, can we move past that question, please? That's not an option. He was like, okay, good. I just wanted to get that out. And then he pulled out the Book of Mormon, and he read 1 Nephi. And he read the story where Nephi is tied in bonds and his brothers have left him in the desert to die. And he just said, okay, Armando Toronto, I really want you to picture this in your mind. And so I pictured a desert, we've got some sand dunes to the right, we've got some vultures swooping over like to the left, and Nephi is just completely bound with all of these cords, and there's no way he can get out. I mean, he's been tied up by his older brothers who I'm sure have experience in tying knots, and what he did there was he prayed for the strength to be able to break the ties, and after he prayed, he was able to receive that strength from the Lord to break those ties. And my mission president, he was so cute. He like acted it out a little. He was like, I just picture Nephi going like, I'm breaking free. And that image really, really stayed strongly imprinted in my mind, that a lot of the times God gives us things that we can't do by ourselves. Nephi could not break that by himself. He wasn't strong enough. There's no physical way he could. And so sometimes God does give us more than we can handle. But the whole point is he gives that to us so that we can experience grace in our life. Because if he always gives us things that we can't handle, then there's no need for grace. There's no need for the atonement to work if we can do it by ourselves. And so I realized that even though this was an immensely hard challenge for me, and it was something that I didn't feel like I could do anymore, I didn't feel like I could go out and teach, I didn't feel like I could leave the apartment, I didn't feel like I could talk to everyone, I didn't feel like I could plan, I didn't feel like I could do all the things that for so long I had been able to do and enjoy, but I realized that God would give me the strength to do it. And it wasn't easy. There were a lot of days where I knelt down right before we were going to go out, and I was like, okay, I don't have the strength to do this, but I need just enough strength to get through the next lesson. And then I'm probably going to pray again and ask for strength to get through the next lesson. And then I'm going to be scared to death to get out of the car. So I'm going to need help getting out of the car, But it was just such an intimate experience for me, and learning that he really does give us the strength to overcome things. So I learned throughout the course of my mission that I wouldn't be given things that I could handle all the time. There would be things that I couldn't handle. And coming back from the mission, it's been exactly the same. It hasn't been, oh yeah, I can handle all of this. There's been some things that have been heartbreaking and and really, really humbling. But the principle that I learned on my mission that I've been able to take and apply every single day of my life, every hour, is that the atonement gives us the strength that we need. And because we can rely on that, we can have peace in the trial.